They've been doing a phenomenal job in the community. People like coming here. People enjoy the cigars, and I want to thank them. And I want them to know that their efforts in the community is not underappreciated or underestimated. My name is John Allen. I'll be one of the speakers here tonight. I want to thank everyone who had the idea to invite me here. And I want to thank everyone that is here. And we're going to start up shortly. We're going to have a few words from our host who put this together. Right? We'll have a few words from him. And he's going to tell you a little bit about, we're going to talk a little bit about our day today.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to tell you a little bit about what we did earlier today, starting at about 8:30 this morning. He's going to talk about what he plans to do in the future here in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for being here, all the sponsors, all the businesses, the nonprofits that's here, citizens also. It was more about showing a community of working together, right? And so earlier today, this is, and what was interesting, a lot of the things that happened today were planned literally 2.5 weeks ago. So this event was actually planned all the way in March when we went to go interview Chairman Fred. And so this was already it was already in the plans. And so based on talking with him and planning this event, he got in contact with CRC, which is Community Ready Corps. They all the way out in California. And so what they do is they go to communities of color and they donate money, right? Donate money for gas, right? And so the money was given away for free gas giveaways, which was $25. And then they also, it was a $25 gift card to Myers too. And so they were here today, right here on 12 and 20, right here between Edna and Glen Ryan. Paired on with that, John, and I congratulate you with that too, brother. He brought in Project Hope, which was out of Chicago, another nonprofit. And they brought in a whole lot of fresh produce here out of Chicago. And so a lot of these things that we're trying to do is because we want to bring a presence to the city. It's one thing to talk about stuff, it's actually to try to get stuff done and do something, right? And so with these different people and these different spaces that's in this room, we have to come together, right? We literally did this in over 3 weeks. And to see the impact that we had with our people, right? And so tonight, these conversations are going to be very intimate, but we want to make sure that we are actually, because what happens a lot of times we talk, right? But there is no solution. There's no actionable items. And so we wanted to get some type of pilot to get this started and make this an event that'll happen literally every 3 to 4 months, where we come back with some actual results after coming up with solutions. And so I'm willing to work with anybody because as you see with the partners that we have from out of state, they're willing to work with us, right? They see the potential that's in the city, right? We got brothers like Joshua Pondex, who's not even from the city, who was willing to come here based on seeing the flyer, right? Dee, she's literally born and raised here, but lives in, she was commuting from Tampa, right? And so seeing the locals, like my brother's here from Wisconsin, actually Dr. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., he's here, right? So it's to see that different people from different parts of the country come together to see us work together. And so these are the thoughts that I'm having and the conversations that I'm having with others. And so just asking people just to work together, right? And come together for a common cause, which is pushing, it could be voting agendas, political agendas, talking about how real estate affects development in the city, right? And so a lot of the conversation is going to be starting off with that. And so I don't want to say too much, but I'm just glad to see everybody in the room in the collective space. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you. So we're going to give a big hand for Dr. I was just say Chairman. Dr. Fred Hampton Jr., Chairman of the Black Panther Party. Come up here, Dr. Fred. For those of you who don't know, this is Fred Jr., the son of slain civil rights leader and icon in my eyes. I learned about your father first time in 5th grade. I think I explained it. That's why I was looking at a WPBS public broadcasting station video, and they were highlighting his dad. And that's how I first learned about your dad. And I think that's my first lesson in not just self-awareness, but the idea that you're supposed to struggle for self-agency. That's the biggest lesson I think I got from him. And that we're not waiting for a savior to come hard to see for us. We're supposed to make boats and go across it ourselves. So I appreciate that. If you want to address the audience and welcome them, go right ahead.
First and foremost, I'm honored and humbled to be here. Stated I'm Chairman Dr. Fred Hampton Jr. I'm the son of Chairman Fred Hampton and also of Akua and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson. This is the basic introduction. Is Chairman Fred. He led the largest chapter of the Black Panther Party, which is a revolutionary organization started October 15th, 1966 in Oakland, California by Minister of Defense U.E.P. Newton and Chairman Bobby Seale. A lot of survival programs such as the First Breakfast Program, free medical centers, free busing programs were implemented by the Black Panther Party. And I found myself a lot of times we got damage control, a lot of misinformation that was put out about the Black Panther Party. We was able to get what I refer to as a people's propaganda piece put out some years back, Judas and the Black Messiah. Of course, man, being out of the movie industry, everything wasn't there, but we was able to, as we say, put that Panther Cub political peel in the applesauce, get some information out there. So I'm looking forward to some dialogue, discussion with our people. As my brother Amaru just pointed out, that I'm part of an international organization. We got some comrades came from Oakland, California, to do some programs, not charity, but get people involved in the struggle and fight for self-determination. We're building up for a major event that's coming up August 30th. Yes. August 30th is Chairman Fred's birthday. He'd been 77 years old had he not been assassinated, along with Defense Captain Mark Clark. We're going to do it right there on the site we refer to as one of our ground zeros. We say, our people in particular, we not the OGs, but the OVs, the original victims of terrorism. And what happened December the 4th, 1969 was an act of terrorism. 21-year-old Chairman Fred and 22-year-old Defense Captain Mark Clark were assassinated. And we stressed that term. So we're going to be right there. Following up with a campaign we implemented some years back, around 2004, that had a street named in his honor. They followed us tooth and nail on that, so we're going to re-implement that campaign. And also that morning, we're going to kind of flip the script on something they do in Chicago. They turn the water green every St. Patrick's Day. This August 3rd, we're going to turn the Chicago River black in honor of Chairman Fred. Right on? Right on. So we're going to officially invite all y'all to come on out there. August 3rd, we got people come from all over the world going to be there. We're going to have a big street party, block party that day. And the following day, we're going to be in Maywood, Illinois, right down the street from the Hampton House, which is a historical landmark. This is the house in which Chairman Fred grew up in Maywood, Illinois. We're having a free breakfast that morning. We're going to have some flyers here to put out. And again, I'm looking forward to this dialogue. I like this setting, I like the atmosphere. So we'll be back and forth with this information. The Black Panther Party, one of the things was it said that information is raw material for new ideas. Information is raw material for new ideas. And the deal is we can't afford the luxury to set trips, say, well, that's just going down to Chicago or Detroit or Oakland or Gary. But find certain points of unity. So again, I'm looking forward to some exchange, dialogue, exchange information. Right on? Right on. Right on.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. With that being said, I think I got the mic up here. With that being said, we're going to get right to it. I'm presenting first, correct? Go ahead. Okay. So I'm going to try to make this simple as I can so I can save all the good questions for the panel or for the Q&A later. First thing I want to highlight to everybody, in any community, the most important thing, of course, is its people. But after its people, is taxes, fines, and fees. We can't get around taxes, fines, and fees. We have to have taxes, fines, and fees in any formal community because this is how the leadership of the community take care of the public affairs of the people. Your stoplights, your court system, your police, your fire, your water, all come from taxes, fines, and fees, or either costs related directly to that. And when you have mismanagement of either the taxes, fines, and fees, of course you have a problem. Also, your population matter. So you want to have a healthy population. You want the demographic to have a mixed ratio economically, right? So I'm gonna make this simple. With regard to taxes, say we have two groups of people. There's 5 people in one group, 3 in the other. They both have a bill that's $1,000. The 5 people are obviously going to pay $200 a piece. The 3 people have to pay $333.33 a piece. So the more people you have, the easier it is to meet your tax levy because it's spread out over more people. And one would say, well, John, all people ain't equal. You might have a person that can't pay, they disabled. But 4 people still only pay $250, even if the disabled person pay none. So when you have an area like we're in, we want to drive population up because we don't have population density here, and it'll offset the cost of living for all of us because everybody has to be able to chip in, no matter what their ratio is. So this is where I'm a big advocate of people moving here, and this is why I'm a big advocate of advertising that we have low property taxes. This is why I'm a big advocate of pushing our land usage, because we have a lot of underutilized land. And what you'll find here with me is that it's a reason why I promote the policies that I promote for the people. Because some policies are custom based on the geographical situation of the people, their location. We have water, we have train, we have airplanes here, or we have FedEx, and we have air freight. We also have customs. Some places don't have that. So the conversation differs, but it's always about taxes, fines, and fees. Recently, our city council had to pass an ordinance where it cost over $100 to get body cam footage from a police officer. One would say, man, that's a bit unfair. If I need the footage, well, I got to pay for it. But the reality is, if the city was operating with enough money in the budget, we wouldn't have to pay for it, or they wouldn't have to raise it. So the taxes, fines, and fees affect everything, everybody, different ways. You can't escape it, all right? With the demographic ratio, right now in the continent of Africa, the average age, or the median age, I understand, is under 21 years old. That's a very, very powerful number, right? The median age around here is about 35. We're old compared to them, right? So one would say, well, why would Asia be there helping build the infrastructure? That's a lot of gym shoes, soda pop, and Coca-Cola to be selling for a long time to a lot of people. So that's their motive, right? Here we have motives too, right? So we need to study our demographic, not only their age, but their circumstances and situation. So for example, we have a utility company, and I'm gonna talk about them a little bit, NIPSCO. It would help us dramatically if NIPSCO submitted information to our administration, letting them know what zip code has the most turnoffs for non-payment, what zip code have the most late payments, what zip code have the most new activations, how many people move and just transfer their service somewhere else. That bit of information will tell us where our utility programs need to go in the city. And we won't be doing a shotgun, we'll be efficient with our efforts. So like the chairman said, information fuel ideas. So we need information. So I'm a big advocate of these utility companies working with our administration, disclosing information to them so we can get our hands on the economic health of the community so we can move decisively and quickly. The other thing that's a big concern for the community right now, of course we know all federal social services have been cut. Some services are not social services. I have a letter from a veteran saying that his veteran benefits is being reduced by the VA, right? So we get across the board reduction in all federal departments. The Governor Braun of the state of Indiana announced that it's a 5% reduction in all state funding. So we're gonna have to do more with less, but we're already starting off where we don't have enough from the beginning. That's a problem. Then we also have what they call Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1 is going to reduce our property taxes. As anyone here know, our Governor Braun, he ran on promising to reduce property taxes. That's a good thing, but depending on the community you're in, it hurts you. So if you have less property tax, your property tax pay for schools, education, police, fire and safety. So you have less to do that. So imagine a place like Gary, who are already starting off with not enough, about to receive less. Again, this is why I'm a big fan for land usage. Right now in the city of Gary, we have approximately 77,000 unutilized properties that's under the control of the municipality. I had calculated that even if we just auctioned 1,500 of them at an average price compared to the auctions that we have in the county, the auction itself would be a windfall of about $7.4 million. The reoccurring tax bills would be at least 3.5 the first year, and it would go up every year after that, not because the taxes are increasing, because the land usage would drive the assessment up. Plus you have the ancillary income from the use of the land. If it's a family living there, that's more milk, eggs, toilet paper, utilities being used. If it's a business being there, there's more jobs and or a higher portion of the tax base. This is why I put the word ratio up here. In a healthy community, we have the right ratio of people paying 3% property tax, 2% for commercial, 1% for homeowners. Here, the homeowners is carrying the burden of the entire city because we don't have enough businesses here. We don't have enough entities paying 3% and 2%. And this is why I promote bringing businesses here and soliciting to the businesses that we have low property taxes. So we can take the burden off the people that's already here. The indigenous people can pay less into the tax levy if we have more businesses come over, if we increase the number of commuters, right? And the last thing I'm going to bring up to you guys, and I'm going to let somebody else have it, I'm going to bring up Senate Bill 424. Senate Bill 424 was passed, and basically I'm going to summarize the bill. It allows the utility board and the governor at their discretion to raise the utility rates if a utility company, and the language is a private utility company, if a private entity that provides utility wants to invest in an SMR. An SMR is a small modular reactor. A small modular reactor is a nuclear reactor, it's small, and it generates power. As you know, it's a data center frenzy going on around the country. And we may wind up with data centers in Indiana because there's only 6.4 million people here, right? All the surrounding states have more people in it than we do. So we have more land, less people, lower taxes. It makes sense to sit a data center here. However, the data center requires a lot of power. No big deal except that under Senate Bill 424, you as a rate user for your utility bill can be billed in advance for the billing of the SMR, whether they get built or not. That's not fair. I talked to State Rep Mark Spencer about it. He wants to put a circuit breaker provision, amending it, stating that we get some of the money back. I don't trust NIPSCO to give our money back. I feel they shouldn't take it. How about you? I feel that if they're going to buy an SMR, that's their property. That's their business property. They get taxed for that item, right, as an improvement. Why are we financing their improvement? They can go to the bank and get that. Why are we paying for that? If we buy something, you should buy your electricity. You should buy the cost to pay the lineman. You should buy the cost to fix your meter can or bring the meters out. Why are you paying for an item they've yet to buy? And keep in mind, the cheapest SMR I found, there's 6 companies I found that do them, is $3 billion. It's also a front cost to add it to our electrical grid, right? And I even got into the fact, what do we do about the spent rods every 20 years from the nuclear reactor? Because that's what it is, a small nuclear reactor. Now, we have safe nuclear reactors in America, so I'm not trying to fearmonger you, but what I'm saying is, we've never had them scattered out all over our state, so what do we do with those spent rods? Are we going to have a central location for them? Or should we have locations close to the reactor to make the spent rods safe? Because when you put them on trucks and move them, you got the potential of an accident the further out you go. So these things are not discussed with the public. So I asked you to ask your state reps, prior to this bill being passed, how come it was never any discussion with us? And we probably couldn't stop them because the Republicans had a super majority, but nonetheless, we could have effectuated an amendment where we're not paying up front for it. And by the way, the split for the SMR is 80-20. We pay 80%, the utility company pay 20%. So these are the things that motivate me to care about my community. How we can get around this? We got Gary in particular. We got really Lake County. And I talked to the lieutenant governor of the state, Beckwith, about this. He even agreed with me that the bill shouldn't have been passed. So him and the governor is at odds about this, right? And no matter what your party is, some of these issues are bipartisan, right? And I hope that we address them in the future as such, but we can cure this with land usage, because like other places, they have such concentrated property population density that they can't leverage their land to make up the difference. So Senate Bill 1 is no big deal if we leverage our land to make up the difference in the tax reduction, right? The NIPSCO, we got to get that reversed, and this population increase, the market will take care of itself if we offer the promise, all right? With that being said, I'm gonna get down from here. I'm John Allen. I'll say the questions for later, for the panel, for the Q&A, and I'll invite the next speaker to come up.
But it's more like, let me just add.
So we did have Miller Pizza also donate pizza back there. So they are, it's free food back there also.
Yeah, it's free pizza back there from Miller Pizza.
And then please patronize the business because, for drinks, because, you know, we in their space, and make sure we're patronizing all black business, black business. But right now, we're gonna probably have a intercession real quick, like a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna have a light panel, and we have a discussion with Esther Lewis, Chairman Fred, and Mr. John Allen.
Right on.
How you doing, King?
How you doing, brother? How you doing? Yeah, they tell me come here out of pocket. Whether they do it or not,